Hello, my name is Loseva Julia. I'm the project manager. Could you please raise a hand who is in the relationships right now? No one? No? Don't hesitate. I am. Do you want to have these relationships in the future? Are you interested to having your partner near you? I am. In this report, I would like to tell you more about the relationships with the client, of how after 6 years of unforgettable adventure in this marriage, not to break apart in total coldness and disunion with each other. So how do we imagine our perfect relationships in the ideal world, when the life, work, and meetings are balanced and you are not receiving emails in the subject in a caps lock and repeatedly urgent in every line of email body? When client understands you from the first time and after that you are working together productively in a super fast way. Unfortunately, we are not in the ideal world and we are not in the perfect relationships, aren't we? So, there are times when you are super motivated and you are ready to conquer the world. And there are times when you are squeezed as lemon and you are not ready to give more than you have already given to these relationships. So what should we do in these such moments of crisis? Is it important to fix this relationship and level them up and higher? Or should we leave it as it is and just do our job and let this relationship die? Let's take a look together. Historically, we are working from 2013. We had great relationships, we had trust, they knew us, we knew them. 3 regions, Europe, Latin America, and Middle East. We had everything. We had all the attributes of happily ever after. We had the trust, the love, the comfort, the great relationships, as I told already. In such harmony, we were coexisting more than 5 years, and we have received the preferred vendor status. One moment, everything has changed. The management from their side has changed, and it was a completely different person. And this person wants completely different stuff from us, different action, different behavior, the one that we were not ready to provide. And honestly, we didn't want to provide from the beginning. So, let me show you the main issues that we have faced during these difficult times and how we tried to resolve them. First one, you are not enough. Sounds familiar, yes? One of the biggest concerns from the client side was the lack of people in this relationship from CT side. And we were completely black box for them. They didn't understand how these few faces can do so many projects in this short-term reality. Second one, different languages. Yes, for a moment we were speaking different languages with the client. And yes, that happened to us. We didn't understand each other completely. And the third one, what are we fighting for? There are moments in this relationship when you do not understand why you are here, what you are doing in this project, what to do next. And your only desire is to go away and never come back to this. That's what happened to us. And let me share my experience to each of this. So you are not enough. So who was building this relationship brick by brick every day? There were one project manager, and for each region we had the lead consultant. With time, the relationship has grown, the trust has grown, and we have changed naturally. We started to have one project manager and one lead consultant. As we were highly motivated and adored our project, it was enough. We got some help, of course, when needed, but majority of the time it was only 2 of us, always there. And with time, we started to feel the first signs of frustrations. So, historically, is loading us in a chaotic manner in regards of project volume and time terms. You will never know if it is the few 100-hour projects or is it a 10 times bigger and it's a 1,000-hour project. We will never know, we will never see the real load. So, our proposal was to get a prior notification from our client 2 weeks prior the real start project date. We want a notification that this project will start, so we could allocate the resources, we could introduce them and onboard them. This approach started to work. We started to slowly heal, and actually this approach also helped the main team to feel less trapped and more focused on the main projects. The next one, different languages. Yes, we were speaking the different languages, as I told before, but it's time to learn a new one. So what was the problem? The main problem was the lack of needed communication, the communication that they wanted to see from us. As I told already, they wanted to see everything in different way, the way we could not understand how to provide and didn't know how to provide. So what we started to do? We started to talk. We started to talk to every person that we could reach. We started to talk from the lowest level to the highest one. We started to educate them, combining the Salesforce.com processes and the business processes, the one they didn't understand. Our goal for this onboarding, for this education, was to educate them that much that when we are in design and implementation phase, they could speak the same language with us, and we could be more productive than ever. And the third one, what we are fighting for. Of course, with these heating relationships, when we don't understand what to do next, how to do it next, when you hear always that you are not enough, that you are wrong, that they want different stuff, you don't want to be in these relationships. And honestly, our team felt really stressed. We were highly demotivated, and some of the team members even wanted to leave the company and never come back, and there was no motivation to keep them from this decision. What should we do in this situation? Actually, to resolve this issue with the team, to resolve this issue with the motivation, you need just to talk. Daily, routine, basic talk, to hear your team pain, to hear their concerns, to make them feel that they are not alone and they are here and you actually care about them. And for me, as for the manager, it was really important to show to my star players that they are not average, that they are not dying under average tasks, that their imagination is free and they are supported by me to implement the ideas and the solutions that they want to implement, that they are heard in this company and in this project. And when you start to talk to them, they start to be more proactive and more productive. That's basically a solution. So, what is the key to resolve the conflicts like this when you have the new partner, you don't understand each other, you don't talk to each other, and you don't want to be in these relationships anymore? The key is a conversation in form of simple talk. As usual, it's always simple, it's never complex. What was required from our side? From CT side, it was required to understand that the client has changed, and it's not a mood wave, but a seriously personality switch. And we needed to act, and we needed to understand what they want and what we want, and if we even want the same things anymore, and we should keep up with these relationships. Also, it was very important to onboard. It was very important to motivate and educate the team of how to speak with this new bride, how to behave in these new relationships, and how to keep up the good work. So that's our track right now, and that's what we are trying to do in this relationship with the hope for the future. And what was required from the side? To communicate clearly. When you're changing the team from the lowest level to the highest one, in my opinion, you must educate the newcomers with the knowledge that the previous team had. Unfortunately, it didn't happen, so these newcomers didn't know us, and they didn't want to know anything about us. They were not charmed, and we didn't know how to gain this trust. And the only one problem was that they didn't speak up. But we are not on the first date, aren't we? And we are mature enough to speak up about our desires and our comfort zone. So, to talk, to motivate, to show, to support. This is our way right now in this relationship to finally stand up and walk away from this crisis and never come back to it. We are at the beginning of this path, so wish us all the luck in the world, and thank you for your attention. If you have any questions, please ask. I am really good at consulting of couples right now. So please.
Julia, thank you for your presentation.
Thanks.
As far as I understood, so you have a very long-term relationship, more than 6 years. Did you have some personal meetings with the client side or with other teams, and how they went?
Yes, we repeatedly and constantly traveling to each other. Right now, we are building this traveling relationship as well. Recently, I was in Latin America with the friends of mine. And we were setting up the new call center project. So we are traveling a lot, and this is the key for actually business communication. We became the preferred and trusted person to be communicating with. That's the goal. Actually, traveling is really important. You cannot build a project without seeing each other at least once in half a year, not to be introduced. Yes. Good. Everyone has good relationships. It's so great. I'm so relieved. Okay, so thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you. 148 people voted, and Julia Loseva, welcome to the stage, please.